Hello, welcome to another class by Alisonia StatGuide. So today we talk about part 2 of our data and data collection series. So if you haven't watched part 1, so I suggest that you go back to the previous video and watch what we talk about data. So in this class, we want to talk about data collection. I want to talk about data collection. So we often hear that knowledge is power. But before you need that knowledge, you need
Kindly
that.
increase your voice, please.
Okay, I said it is a common saying that knowledge is power, information is knowledge, and data is the processed information. In that sense, we can say that data itself is power. So for every organization, you need accurate data collection to improve your product. The government needs accurate data collection to improve their effectiveness, and even the charger also needs accurate data collection to make informed of their what recharge problem. So in that sense, you need to know about data collection before we move to the method of data collection. So what is data collection? It's just the process of gathering information from relevant sources to find solutions to a specific subject or research problems. How? In data collection, you have to gather information. That is, you have to collect information from relevant sources. I mean, based on what you are trying to study. Some people, their relevant story is their relevant sources are government. Some people, their relevant sources is just to conduct an experiment in a laboratory. For some people, their relevant sources is the forest. And some people, their relevant sources is what is animal, aquatic animal. So to now find solutions to a specific subject of research problems on that study. So this gathering of information, it takes us to whatever you want to study while collecting the data. Do you want to study the FDI info of a particular country or the media violence on children, or you want to study about employee attrition, customer churn, heart diseases, and stroke. So as when you want to study FBI inflow, so your relevant sources is government, and the research problems you want to try to achieve here, or the specific subject you want to study here is what causes the foreign direct investment of the country. For media violence and children, you can say the relevant sources is social sciences, and the research problem is how does media violence affect children. And for business, you can say that the relevant source, the information you want to study here is employee attrition or customer churn, and the relevant stories here is government, is business, rather, sorry about that, and what factor contributes to the employee attrition in an organization. So the same thing goes for heart diseases and strokes, in which we have the relevant stories of healthcare and the research problem of what the prevalence and determinants of what of heart diseases. So it depends. It is not limited to all this, but it depends on what you want to study. So anyhow, you need the accurate data collection to make actionable insight before you study your research problem. So before you collect data, there are a series of questions you to ask yourself. So you don't just bought into our target only as okay, you want to collect data about the business or about the government or about your own specific subject you want to study. So you need to ask yourself about your target audience. Who are your target audience? Who do you want to collect the data from? What is the goal of the aim of the research you are going you are trying to carry out, and what kind of data are being planned to gather. Sorry, what kind of data are being planned to be gathered, and what method of procedure will you be used to gather your own data? So these four questions are very important. So when I say the target audience, I mean you have to define your population in which you want to collect your data. So in this sense, statistical population means statistical population here. It is just the collection of an entity that have the same characteristics. In just collection of an entity that have the same characteristics. It is not limited to people. It might be animals. Maybe you want to study population of animals. It might be businesses. It might be motorcycles. It might be anything. It might be insects. It might be even by able to tree. That is, if you want to study a particular tree in a forest, so your population in that sense is what is tree, and those are your target audience or which you want to collect your data. And when you're talking about population, how how do you want what subset of population do you want? Do you want the whole population, or you want subset of the population or fractional part of the population? So if you want the whole population, we call it complete enumeration in this sense. We refer to that as what? Census. We refer to that as census. Let's assume in a particular class, you want to study the population of 20 students. You want to know their stats in a particular school. So if you take if you study the whole 20 students, we refer to that as census. That is complete enumeration. So if you just maybe 10 people out of that 20 people or 5 people out of that 20 people, that's a fractional part, and that is just part of the population. In that sense, refer to that as what? Sample. And that is referred to as partial enumeration. For your aim of research, so what is the goal or aim of your research? So that gives back to data type. So if you know the goal or aim of your research, then you now know the kind of data type that you want to collect. We already talked about it. So that's why I said you should watch the last video you haven't watched it. So I won't be repeating this here. So but by data type, we make quantitative and qualitative data. Then what kind of data are you planning to gather? That is that is where we are going to talk about sources of data you want to gather. Do you want to gather primary sources of data or secondary sources of data? By primary sources of data, we mean data that is collected by the researcher himself, that is the data you collect yourself. By the secondary sources of data, I mean the data you transcribe from already documented sources. So after you might have decided all this, then you have to move to method of data collection, which you want to talk about in this slide. To method of data collection. Any question in this regard? Can I move on? Any question? Hello?
For me, you can move on.
Okay, thank you.
No question.
Uh, do you all get it? The method of data collection. So let's move on. The method of data collection. Data collection methods are based on primary or secondary data, as we talked about in the last slide. So we already defined what is data collection. Then what techniques you use to collect data. Before you to know the technique you use to collect data, you have to know the kind of data you want to collect. So do you want to collect primary data? You are going to use different techniques for that, or maybe your own is secondary data. So you have to use different techniques for that. So that's what I mean by data collection, which is based on primary or secondary data. For the primary data, it involves a direct method of collecting information from the source or through direct interaction with the respondent. Explanatory. For the secondary data, it involves the indirect method. That's going to be direct method, indirect method of sourcing or accessing existing data that is already documented by someone else. Existing data that is already documented by someone else. If you go to Central Bank of Nigeria now, you want to explore the GDP of the country, or you go to National Bureau of Statistics, you want to explore the exchange rate. So that is already documented by Nigeria government, but you need those data. So that's why you go there. In that sense, you say that you are collecting primary, secondary data. So that is what means already documented by someone else. So this method of data collection, if you are collecting primary data collection, we have survey and questionnaires, we have interviews, observations, focus groups, and experiments. So for surveys and questionnaires, this is just a list of defined questions in a printed paper to achieve the purpose of the work we are studying. In this sense, you design your own questionnaire, take it to your target respondents, or your software, you take it to your target respondents for them to fill, or you ask them questions and you fill it for them. So that's what I mean by survey and questionnaire. So another one is interview. This one you have one-on-one interview which was with your respondent. The respondent is the person you are asking question directly. So you have one-on-one interview with your respondent about the particular study you are trying to carry out. For the observation, this one you are not interacting with your respondent, you are just observing. You are just observing. So this one is mostly used by uh, ecologists. We have something called capture recapture model. They want to study particular a population of what species or animals. In this sense, their population of interest is species. What kind of animal they want to study their own for own business. They want to make their subjects based on. So they have to observe those animals. They have to observe them. In this sense, you just sit at one corner of the place. You are observing your respondent. You are writing something down on what you mean on them. You are not interacting with anybody. That's what means as what observation. So for the focus group, you just select a group of people. This focus group and interview are just alike. But while the interview might be interacting with just only one person, for the focus group, maybe you might be gathering with two or three or more people. So you just sit them down and discuss on a particular topic. So this one is commonly used in a business organization to understand how their employees feel about their product. So you might just have two or three employees sat down as they are discussing on the particular functionality of product so they can improve on it better. So for the experiment, this one is used by a lot of scientists out there, medical students, agricultural students, so on and so forth. So you just have to collect experiments on a certain type of subject you want to study in the laboratory and ask them to collect. So for the secondary data collection method, administrative data, this is publicly available data like birth rate, death rate, mortality rate, so on and so forth. So the published sources, online databases, you don't know much about this. So Yahoo Finance is online database sources. Our World in Data is online database sources. Fed is online database sources. CBN, CDC, World Bank, and so on and so forth. Also, publicly available data, like those data you crop from cargo, they are publicly available data. Maybe your own collection is to just read some previous studies, past studies, and have your data recorded from it. So that's that about the difference between primary data collection, the thing we use here, the thing we use here is all this. And for the secondary data collection, the thing we use is this administrative data, public sources, online databases, publicly available data, and past research studies. So do we all need to collect data? Yes. So whether you are in academia or you are in a particular organization, So you all need data to what? To improve your product, to improve your effectiveness in the subject you are trying to study, and so on and so forth. So any question here? I know some people might want to have questions, and it's not that as a data analyst, maybe we have some data analysts here that are working out. Are we also going to collect data? No, no, it's not necessary for you to collect data as a data analyst if you are into entry role, because the company you want to work with already have the data. So you only need to get the data from them. Yeah, or they already have database. You only need to get data from them and analyze them. But before you analyze them, you have to understand the source of data. You have to understand the source of data, if it's qualitative and if it was if it's quantitative before you begin the analysis. But because this class is not just for data analysts or data scientists, it's also for students, it's also for research experts and so on and so forth. So that's why we have to talk about all this before we move on. Any question? Any question? Okay, let's proceed.
I
So,
don't shake.
what next once the data is collected? So we are going to talk about this. And if once data is collected, you need to organize your data. And that is the next essential keywords we explained in the first video. If you haven't watched that, go and watch it too. So those videos are related. So data organization is the next chapter we are going to talk about. Before we call it a day, so let's talk about the summary, what we talk about in this class. So then, although our class is just about method of data collection, but before you collect your data, there are certain things you need to understand. Like I made mention the other time, who are your target audience, which take us to define your own target population of interest, maybe people, maybe animals, maybe tables, maybe chairs, maybe species, and so on and so forth. So it is different based on the level of discipline. In fact, we have only population of this interest to biologists or scientists out there. So does your audience involve all or subsets of the population of interest? If it is all, then we're talking about sensor. It is complete memorization. If it is subset or fractional part of the population of interest, we're talking about sample, which is partial memorization. And we all know that both sensors and sample has their own pros and cons. So we're not talking about that in this class. So you can read more about that later online. So what data collection method is suitable to source your data? It is summary data. We'll be talking about direct methods, we have survey, interview, experiment, so on and so forth. The second data, we have indirect methods, and we have aggregated data, online database, public sources, partial review, so on and so forth. So that's a summary of what we're talking about in this class. So if you have question now, the floor is open in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So if you have question, you can ask a question or you can type it in the chat section if you want to talk. So I don't want the slide to be more, so it will be easier for us to go through. Any question? Can we call it a day then? Mr. Toy, if you have questions. Okay, if you don't have question, I have question. So how do you feel about the teacher's classes we had on the essential keywords and statistics and the data collection method we talked about in previous one? Have you watched it? What have we learned? Class benefits. What can we improve on? It's an interactive class, as I said in the beginning of this class. Let me hear from you. That's my own question.
Please repeat the question, sir.
I said, what did you see about the classes we had previously? Is a class on essential keyword in statistics, that is the first class, and the second one is data and data collection, which is series one. So, what have you learned from the class? Are you improving? What is your comment? And do you have questions about that as well? So that is my own question. If you don't have any question for me.
Okay, so for me, it I just want to say that you're actually doing what you said. So learning statistics from basis to being professional. I believe we are on the journey, and I believe that this is what we are supposed to know to become a professional data analyst or probably a professional data scientist. So you're actually doing what you advertise to us, or okay, should I use the word advertise, or what you actually told us that you are going to do from the basis. You are taking it from the basis, then gradually. So I believe that inshallah we will get there. So Jazakumullah khairan for the work, because I saw that you've actually put a lot of effort in doing the slide, the quality of the slides, the way it's actually structured. Even somebody that is just learning ABC will actually understand what all these are actually meant for. Thank you for that.
All right, thank you for the comments from Mr. Abdul Yak. So my friend from Kenya, I know you want to say something, so I would like to hear from you, Ibibi.
First and foremost, I would just like to comment on the audio. Actually, since the beginning, I've not been getting you so clearly. So kindly improve on the audio. I can't hear you properly. You sound a little bit unlively, and like just a friend who just commented, he was very lively and I could hear very clearly. So I don't have much to comment, but just work on your audio, please.
All right, I'll work on that. Thank you. Any comments on that, Colin? From Mrs. Yasmin Adebiyi? Any comments from you? Mrs. Tajidin Sakina? From Davis? Okay, so if there is no comment, so we have to end the class. Thank you for coming.